Back in Australia, I'm called on to capture and relocate large crocodiles. They come in and around civilization and they present a problem. They threaten people or people threaten them. And it's understandable that there's a conflict between a large animal and people. Crocodiles do kill and eat humans. I'm here in Indonesia to have a look at a very different road. Try and get a feel for the conflict. Try and understand where the solution lies for a very important, very endangered species, the Indonesian elephant. Have a look at these. In this adventure, we paddle a dugout canoe into the shrinking homeland of one of the largest creatures on Earth, a mysterious tropical jungle filled with the presence of unseen wildlife.
We're heading for Waikambas at the southern end of the Indonesian island of Sumatra, home for some of the last surviving Indonesian elephants on Earth. Our journey upriver takes us through ancient tropical rainforests and into the habitats of some unique animal species. Because we're not using motors, we don't scare the wildlife, and that means we can prowl along silently to spot the animals living in and around the river. Steve's never been able to resist wild pigs. He just loves their cute little faces and their crazy personalities.
There's pigs moving around everywhere. They're just all over the ground. I'm going to see if I can get in close to a couple.
The Indonesian wild pig's not really a menace like the big feral monsters we get in Australia. They're a real cruisy little animal, and they don't even seem concerned that we're getting closer and closer.
Wild pig, I love them. This is just what we're looking for, elephant country, and I'm starting to notice signs that they've been here recently. I'm hot on the trail of an elephant. He's walking through the bush that silently. I can't hear him. All I can hear is the primates and the birds. Got to be really careful with wounds in the tropics. It doesn't take too much before they get ulcerated. And here's a bush that you got to watch out for. See this stuff here? It's worse than barbed wire. Have a look at it in my arm. Yow. Whew. Soon to get bitten by a tiger. Pretty soon I stumble straight onto one of the many roads that cut through the remote rainforest. It's a great place for pigs and other animals to get out and enjoy open spaces and graze on the grass. Here's some elephant dung. Check out the butterflies sucking up the nutrients. It's interesting how the ecosystem revolves around a large mammal. And here it is. Check this out. Look at the size of it. It's a steamer. He's coming straight at me. He's coming right this way. My instincts are on overtime. These things can move quicker than I can through the rainforest, and I don't want to get trampled into the ground. Get ready to run, Steve-O. Get ready. I'm just gonna hold my ground. He's staring straight at me.
Here's where you want to see elephants. Right here, in the wild. Here he goes.
Okay, let's go back in the bush. Because he's moving, I don't think he can see us or hear us. So now's my chance to follow, but we're gonna have to be dead careful. Gonna have to stay at a safe range. He's still moving. Every time he stops, I gotta stop. What I'm trying to do is keep it a safe distance, for if it charges at me, I'll need enough room to bolt. It's amazing how he can stand there as quiet as a mouse. He's had enough and he's moving on. Yes! My first elephant's in the wild, right here in the rainforest. Well, that's my first sighting of wild elephants, but gone. I can't believe it. It just vanished into the forest somewhere. Their camouflage is unreal. And I can't hear anything. You'd think I'd hear something crashing around, but nothing.
One reason he's so silent is that elephants walk on their toes. The back of the foot is a big, spongy mass, like a giant shock absorber. It's a different elephant, even bigger, and he's got an enormous set of tusks.
If I say move, move.
So far, they've always moved away from us, but this guy's edging towards us.
I think that was a warning. Let's go. He's got his ears flared. He's cranky. He's really cranky. He was just making sure that I wasn't going to hassle him. I'm not. I take those threats really seriously. He means business, and to be able to charge through that rainforest and stamp me into the ground so fast I wouldn't get 10 meters. What an awesome experience. I'm shaking like a leaf. Absolutely shaking. Too good. Elephants in the wild. You know, I've only ever seen them on the television in the African savannah. Here I am in the tropical rainforest of Sumatra with elephants thundering past me. They part this bush like it's going out of fashion. They're huge, big animals. Just see the size of that, massive. And she didn't want me getting too close. She could smell me, she could hear me from hundreds of yards away. No problem at all. And there was no way she was going to let me get too close. Beautiful, beautiful stuff, yeah. Given the amount of large mammalian fauna that's in and around this river, it's not surprising that there's crocs here. It's really unfortunate that they copped a flogging throughout the years. Now, these are known as the Indo-Pacific crocodile. That's the Indo-Pacific crocodile. Largest croc in the world. Of course, in Australia, we call them saltwater crocs. And they're quite common in certain areas of Australia. You wouldn't want to go out in a dugout canoe in some areas. But here, in Sumatra, they're quite scared, and they have to be. They've virtually been eliminated throughout the whole Indonesian archipelago. This is the Asian water monitor. See him sitting up there, beautiful yellow coloration. Now, he's only about 6.5 feet. Not real big, they get a lot bigger.
Sumatra is one of the 2 biggest islands in Indonesia and supports amazing species of animals found nowhere else in the world.
Elephants. We're downwind and they can't smell us. There's elephants all around me. I can't see them. I can only see a couple here, and there's 2 grazing up on the top of that hill there. But you can hear them. You can hear them all around me, snorting and communicating with each other. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not a dozen elephants around me. Unbelievable. Look at them, they're frolicking in there, they're having a great time.
Sumatran elephants are a distinct subspecies of Indian elephants. They can't interbreed with the world's other elephants, so if we let them disappear from this one island, they'll be gone forever.
They're just playing like a couple of kids. And they try and have a couple of baths a day. Or more. Sometimes when it's stinking hot, they'll spend hours in the water. Looks like they're going to have a graze on the side there. Eat a few of those reeds. Anything that's green is fair game.
It looks like a typical elephant family. The head of an Asian elephant household is a dominant female who supervises every part of her family's life.
Aren't they just gorgeous? Absolutely beautiful. Notice how they're hooing and urinating in the water. Now, elephants are very sensitive to their own manure, in that when they do a dollar, they won't stand in it, no matter what happens. And it's very significant where they place their dung. Of course, it's very important for territory, and other elephants can come along and smell that dung and tell exactly what's going on with, say, a herd that's out there.
All the fully grown elephants in this family are female.
I'm happy. I'm really happy.
A typical family group is between 4 and 10. This one just looks a little bit bigger.
Quite tranquil, isn't it? Most of the wildlife on the river is quite tolerant of me. These macaques know I'm here, and yet they're not too worried. However, some of the reptile species are very scared with my presence, like this Salvador's monitor, the Asian water monitor. He's quick to get out of my way, and so are the crocodile. They have to be, because poachers, illegal hunters, will kill them for their skin.
We've moved into Waikambas National Park, home to around 1/3 of all the Sumatran elephants left on Earth. At the heart of the park is a training center, a place where problem elephants are taught a whole new set of skills. If they weren't here, they probably wouldn't survive, because most of them had become nuisances in settled areas where they're no longer welcome. The people are mahouts, highly skilled handlers who bond with individual elephants and stay with them for life, and that's about 60 years.
Look at them, aren't they just magnificent? Here's a banana, mate. Little banana here. So you can see those fingers, that finger on the bottom there. They actually call them fingers. Up here, buddy. See that finger work there? Okay? There's a lot of difference with these elephants to the African. Running out of bananas. These actually have just that single finger. The African elephant has one above and below. They've got 2. Their trunk is such a highly developed, modified organ. And it's one of the most incredible things in our natural world. They've got a highly sensitive sense of smell. Watch this. He can delicately grab that banana and place it back inside his mouth. They could pick up something as small as a coin on the ground. They can smell for kilometres around where there's good tucker, where there's other elephants. And then have a look at his tusks. Now, with the Indonesian elephant or the Sumatran elephant, only the males have tusks, and not all of them have these structures. And these are like a modified incisor that grows throughout their life, and they come out through their jaw. And they're used, of course, in combat. You know, it's a male thing. to have a good set of tusks and get to mate with the girls. And they've caused elephants across the world great problems because here is ivory. And of course, ivory poachers, you know the rest of the story. They've got a pretty good sense of sight, but what they have got a good sense of is hearing. You can see his ears, and he's constantly flapping them. And that's a cooling system. It's like a capillary action. He's got blood flowing through his ears, and they're very thin. So as he flaps them, it cools the whole animal down because the blood's flowing through his ears, and that cooled off blood goes and flows through his body. Here's a little banana. He uses his big pink tongue to push it back. His teeth are actually on the back there, so there's no chance of him biting him. Look at these legs. Look at these giant-sized legs. They are huge. You know, I'm going to learn a few rules today, and the first one that I picked up was always go to the right-hand side of the elephant, not the left, like you do with a horse. Of course, everyone knows with horses, you go to the left-hand side. It's the right-hand side. That is etiquette, and I'll learn as I go. The other thing is, watch out for the feet, watch out for the legs, because they can whack. Side kick, imagine getting side kicked by that. Oh, look at this. Imagine getting crushed under there. The elephant is that intelligent that if he gets mud between his toes, you know how gooey mud is between your toes and it's quite uncomfortable? They'll get a stick or something and they'll actually work it out with their trunk from between their toes. How's that? I mean, when you look at these animals, you're looking at a really intelligent, feeling, emotional animal. Just like me, just like us. Exactly the same. This is all a part of their daily ritual. They come down for a bath, which they love, every morning and every afternoon. 8 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Elephants often end up at Waikambas when their home jungle's been cleared for agriculture. They're creatures of habit, and if a farming village happens to be built on one of their migration paths, they're just as likely to bulldoze the houses and eat the crops. Rather than leave the elephants to a battle they're going to lose, they're relocated here and retrained to work with humans rather than against them.
I love these big mammals so much I don't know whether to laugh or to cry, constantly communicating with their trunks. With these elephants, they've got 2 mounds on their head, one each side. The African's got that big dome, single. Notice the way they graze. They use that trunk to rip the grass off, and they'll get a whole trunk full, and then when they're ready, they'll put it up into their mouth, and then they'll chew it up. It's probably a ton of animal here, about the same weight as a small car. And they just love to suckle with their mummy. This is a mummy here, this is a little baby. And their maternal instincts, their maternal bond is really strong. As with mammals, they have breast milk, and so the baby gets up under that front leg where the breasts are located, and with its mouth, it'll just tuck its trunk back and get its mouth in there and start to suckle. Let's zip around the other side here. Look at that. Just gets a mouthful of breast and suckles away. You can see the breast here, a little bit distended. It's full of milk. The babies will actually nurse 3 years or more. Here you go. Wow, unreal. Snake. See him up there? Right there. Boy, can he climb. And it's hard to tell whether it's venomous or non-venomous. Probably going up the tree, scared of the elephant, scared to get trampled. Whoa, and he's grumpy. Really grumpy. I'm going to have to take him down, branch and all. And he's striking at me. Crikey, he's angry. Wow. Have a look at this. He's a bit grumpy. Have a look at this. This is a mangrove snake. And he's venomous. And as you can see, he bites. And he bites hard. Like to eat birds and frogs. Have a look at that head. Big head, big solid jaw structure, and he'd pack quite a wallop. Look at those colours. Gorgeous coloration. And you can see his tongue flicks. He can locate exactly where I am, exactly where my hands are. Deadly accurate. And I just got to, whoa. Just got to stay a little quicker than he is, and just out of strike range. Wow, look at those large yellow scales. Now, these are a rear-fanged venomous snake. And he's big. Like, he's big enough to pack a good enough wallet. He'd be the same as our brown tree snake from Australia, or actually it comes all the way up into Indonesia. And they kicked around a bit. He's grumpy. And I can understand why. I've taken him out of his tree. Had to bring the branch with me, because he was going to tag me one way or the other. Mind you, I wouldn't want to take a belt off him. It'd hurt, and I'm not sure how the venom would affect you.
Crikey, that was close. I felt the wind of his mouth snapping together right at my lips.
He's a little grumpy. So, let's put him back into the tree where he can go about hunting. Come on, mate. There you go, buddy. You watch the way he climbs. His scales, his ventral scales, those underneath, are quite modified for gripping trees really well.
Sunset, and out in the jungle, the night shift's taking over.
Oh, it's a porcupine. G'day, Spiny.
Have a look at this. This is the common porcupine. There's a few different species of porcupine throughout Southeast Asia, and they're gorgeous. They've got those beautiful white quills, and they're hollow quills, and they are a wild animal. They don't have to live in fear of big predators like tigers, reticulated pythons and blood pythons, because they've got these quills, and if they get attacked, they'll start to run backwards, and they'll present the quills, and let's say a tiger has a go at them, they'll just stick them with all those big white quills, and they'll embed themselves right in the flesh. They can't throw them like a spear or a javelin, but they'll embed them in the flesh, which causes pain. But the worst thing is that it may even cause a predator like a tiger's death. I don't mean you any harm, girl. You're all right. Hey, see the way she sticks those quills up like that? She means business. They're quite intimidating when they do that. Oops, she's flaring them out. She means business. You're all right, sweetheart. Hey. Good luck with your foraging, little one.
Check this out. Back at camp, one of my very close relatives comes in to join me for lunch.
Hey, get out of my food. That's my rice. Excuse me. My rice.
This little macaque's obviously been humanized. He's probably a pet someone released into the jungle. No problems about coming right up to humans. Mind you, he probably doesn't know how to feed himself in the wild, and he's got to steal to live.
So there's a couple of species of macaques here in Sumatra, and this is the pigtail macaque. It's easy to see why they call him that. He's got this short, curly tail on his bottom. Noise here, little buddy.
Uh-oh, he's in trouble. These rangers at the training centre are trying to herd him into a cage so as they can get him way out into the bush where he's not going to have to rely on people. The trouble is, the macaque just gets really agitated and aggressive. He doesn't like this confrontational treatment at all. He's going to stand his ground, bare his teeth and fight. I got a better idea. A passive way would be just throw the food in and he should just walk in. Oh yeah, like the look of that food. He'll just find the door and in he'll go. They're very clever.
What a shame. But you can't have him this close to people. It's really unfortunate. And he's getting very aggressive.
I guess it's better this way. He'll go back into the wilderness where he belongs.
Here he comes. Look at that. Whack. Their trunk manipulation and cuts are really good at pulling down stuff and pushing over trees and undergrowth. Strong as an ox. In actual fact, throughout Asia, the elephant is used just like a tractor
They're kept in local villages and that, so if you need any scrub being cleared, any bush, any agriculture like pulling a plough, I'll go and see the local man with his tractor, which actually happens to be an elephant, and they'll employ him to work. So this elephant's now clearing scrub, pulling all these vines out, and he'll help to clear this whole area, probably for agriculture. Isn't it ironic how the clearing of this forest by this elephant is actually causing their demise? These towers are designed for the rangers to keep an eye on the elephants, because on one side you've got agriculture and crops. On the other side is where the elephants are supposed to be, in the wilderness, in the native bush. So the rangers come up here and they'll be able to see the elephants, see what they're up to. The elephants come through, they get into this revegetation area, food's a little minimal, and then they head straight across this road and out into agriculture. Of course, here is where the conflict begins. And to alleviate the conflict, I'm in for a big lesson on how to ride an elephant. Just 1, 2, 3. Get the old feet in. Or maybe when he gets up. The word for up is? Up. Up, up. Woo! Here he goes. Up. All right. Yeah. Woo! Bagus. Bagus. Indonesian for good. He's a good boy. Just have to love on him again, because he's so good. He's a good boy, this elephant's a good boy. Wow, how's that? Steve-O, he gets to be a mahout. Quite an art to being a mahout. You got to be at one with your animal. And so the first trick I learned is this rope. So I tuck my feet around there and I get the rope through the heel and then get the rope between my toes. And then under this ear here, they've got a lobe. And just go, hut, hut. Forward motion. There's a bad conflict happening right now. There's a herd of elephants annihilating some farmers' crops. And this happens all the time. Unfortunately, the farmers will kill or strike at the elephants, causing death and destruction. Conservation of wildlife, that's what makes me tick. And so I'm joining in with the mahouts to try and get them out of the crops, back into the wilderness area where they belong. This is a wild, wild experience, and it's far less dangerous on elephant back. Approaching elephants on foot could be fatal. And this is why we're here. You can see these elephants, they're all pretty cruisy. They can smell me coming, but approaching them on an elephant, they're a little less wary. Of course, if I was walking around on my own, they would have smelt me from kilometres away and just bolted. Yum, yum, yum. I'm going to keep my mahouts nice and close. Dealing with wild elephants, pretty unpredictable. I'm the novice. I don't know that much about what I'm doing. These blokes are going to keep me in line. Mahouts is nothing quite like a good mahout. You can hear those ghouls woo, bugling, trumpeting away. Kulala, get the sunglasses. I think it's a cobra. You jump on here? Wait there, boy, wait there. Woo! Had to grab me sunglasses. I think it might be a spitting cobra. Whoa. At first, I thought it was a cobra. So the boy slipped me his sunglasses, but I'm safe enough to take them off. It's pretty bitey nonetheless. But I'm pretty sure, yep, it's a racer. You're all right, mate. You're all right. You're all right. You're all right. Settle down now. Yeah, it's a racer, which is non-venomous. They're a colubrid. They don't have any fangs. But as you can see, he's really irate, really grumpy, but I can understand that. He was just cruising around in the water, happy as a snake in the water, hunting for frogs and lizards. And then he heard the elephants come. Snakes haven't got any ears. You can't hear me. He can't. He can't hear me. I can shout all I like, but he can sense vibration. The vibration of the elephants stirred him up, so he's bolted into the water, and then I just had to wait until he came out.
and grabbed him. Now, he's taken a few launches at me. He'll bite me, no doubt about it. You're all right, mate. It's a quick death roll. But I'm in no danger, and I'm trying to be really gentle with him. I don't want to get bit. I really don't. But it's important that we take a good hard look at this snake, because when I first saw it, I was sure that it was a cobra. You're all right, buddy. You're all right now. He's all right now. He's all right now. You're all right now. You're all right. Settle down now. He's a beautiful specimen, and he's really settled down now. I'm just going to let him go on his way back into the water. Oh, here they are. Didn't need these after all. Terry Makasi, Banya. Here's a group of wild elephants, but these aren't the strays or the rogues that we're looking for. And they're not too worried about me getting in close. There's a good boy. You have a bit of a relax, mate. A bit of a feed. Maybe push this tree over. We didn't break this branch off. Good boy. Elephants need so much vegetation to survive that they need enormous areas in the wild. A single elephant needs up to 450 pounds of food every single day.
It's a little unfortunate, but there's probably only a couple of hundred elephants in this entire national park. Even worse is, there's probably less than 1,000, or around about 1,000, throughout Sumatra. Elephants have been extinct throughout the majority of the Indonesian archipelago for thousands of years. I used to be on Java and the Big Islands, but they've been gone for a long time. We got to hang on to these ones, because this is all we got. And by crikey, we're lucky to have it. So come on, mate. Hop, hop. Pretty good at that, aren't I? Hop, hop. Duduk. Good boy. Good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. See how this one, the bark's been torn off here? A little bit of dirt there. They'll come up alongside this and they'll rub on it. You rub on it, get a little itchy. And I'll wear the bark off. Doesn't do the tree any harm. This is regrowth anyway. Elephants have incredibly sensitive skin. It's up to an inch thick in places, but they still feel something as small as a mosquito bite. And an annoying itch just has to be scratched. What an itchy bottom. You see this? Now this is what the elephants do. They come out into this regrowth, and these trees aren't that big. So they'll come up alongside it, have a bit of a feed, get a bit of a trunk action happening on here and just push them over. Check it out. That's a fair lump of a tree. But they push them out, no problem at all. Particularly when it's a bit moist like we're getting all these showers. No worries. So all of these have been pushed over. And they'll actually eat this. They'll eat the decaying timber. I don't know how much nourishment they'd get out of it. This. They also take great pride in stomping it down. You can see that's a big chunk there where they pushed it down with their foot. See this one here? You can see this tree, they pushed over and it's starting to regrow. So, of course, with the regrowth, you can see how succulent that is. Look at that. That's beautiful stuff. Doesn't smell too crash hot. Have a look at these ones here. You see the elephants have actually snapped them off and you've got this regrowth. Right, so they're starting to sprout again. This is a good example here. Right, so this one's starting to regrow. And, of course, that'll get quite bushy. So a lot of people say, oh, you know, the elephants are pretty destructive because they go through the forest tearing this and doing that. That is nature's way. This is the way of our natural kingdom. If an elephant does this, it's great for the environment in that it's snapped off, it'll regenerate, and of course it'll get even bushier. And the elephants may not come back here for a year, maybe even longer. It all depends on the matriarch and how much food's here and how much she's learned. So it's important that we don't think they're destructive animals. The only place that they are destructive is in agriculture. And of course, bang, that's where the two forces, humans and elephants, meet and there's a conflict. Just a boy and his elephant. I love my elephant. What's his feet in his grass? Down he goes. And on I get. And then up we go.
We're getting closer and closer to the conflict area. And up ahead, we can hear the screams of farmers and their kids shouting at the elephants to try and get them out of their crops. You can't blame the elephants. All they're doing is coming out of the wilderness looking for a feed. And they don't really care about the screams, nor me. They just keep grazing, unfortunately stomping the crops into the ground. The mahouts are going to have to try and work around the wild herd and push them back out into the wilderness area.
We gotta go in and herd these elephants out. It's much safer up here on the elephant. On foot could be fatal. The local farmers are aware of the dangers of elephants. They won't go anywhere near them. But it's really important that we get in and herd them out.
Here we go, they're moving. We're pushing on. All seems pretty casual.
They're moving, here we go.
So far, so good. It's all nice and casual, not too much stress.
I'm safe as long as I stay on the elephant's back. To go on foot could mean getting trampled. This baby's got a mother. We're gonna have to be careful because they're really protective of their babies. Come on. These mahouts round up elephants like cowboys round up cattle. Go, go.
And it's going really good. There's not too much stress at all. All we've got to do is get them across the road. Nearly there.
Straight back into the reserve.
And that little baby, it won't leave its mama.
We're just going to push the herd straight back over here through this undergrowth into the scrub. And they're just pushing along nicely. There's no drama, there's no aggression. It's going as smooth as a zipper. Mind you, I'm working with a few experts.
Far better this way than the farmers killing them or using poison to eliminate them.
Wait, my boss.
Woo! And let's hope they stay in there.
Mission accomplished.
And these Indonesian elephants are the most endangered elephant species in the world. If you can imagine, there's 600,000 elephants in Africa, 50,000 Indian elephants on the Asian mainland, but only 1,000 of these beautiful Sumatran elephants are left in our world. We've got to protect what's left.
That was really good.
That was pretty hard work, herding those wild elephants up, and they just love their bath time.
That must be, bath time's over. Bath time's over. You want to go out and graze?
Oh, gosh, I just love my elephant. He's my friend, my really close friend. And look at this. He's going to pick up my boots for me.
Thanks, mate.
This is Nort, a baby elephant. And she's just lost her mama. She's an orphan. It saddens me to the point of tears to see this beautiful little baby losing her grip on life. Her mama was killed by a hideous chemical that the palm oil plantation farmers laced on some of the vegetation designed to kill elephants. And And so this poor little baby is carrying that chemical through her body, and it's slowly but surely killing her. I'm trying with all my heart to help her with artificial milk and food, but it's not working. She's losing her fight and her zest. Come on, little Bibi.
Oh, we got a lot in that time, didn't we? This is Norton. She's a year and a half old, and she should have her ears all out and flapping, and she should be zipping around here, bugling, and having the time of her life. Her mother died giving birth to her. She probably could have been saved, and Norton could probably be saved too, but she's dying. She might not see the day out, she might not see the week out, and it just tears my heart out to think that there's nothing I can do, there's nothing anyone can do. It's simply a lack of research and a lack of funds. So, I just want to share with you the importance of this little girl here, because if she dies, perhaps she will help the rest of them out in the wild. Maybe secure some habitat. You're killing me. Poor little thing.